So there's a interesting article I want to read you from Jim Sinclair. You know him, aka Mr. Gold, as he's been known all these years. I get his newsletter as well, but someone had forwarded this to me as well. My buddy Jean Claude, and he said when he sent it, his comment was, "Hey guys, as I read this or read this, I was immediately guided to share this with you guys. Look forward to the Greg Hunter interview." My buddy Jean Claude, Jean Philippe, that John. Now this Friday, Thursday, really late Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then we leave Sunday morning. Uh, I will be in Lilydale, New York, checking that whole, scene out, so to speak. But Jean Claude felt like sending me this, and as I read it, I felt like a lot different than I've felt when I read a lot of his stuff, because I get his emails too, Jim Sinclair, and it's like, oh yeah, gold, this and that, okay, okay, and it's just like, yeah, 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 yeah. But this one, I gotta say, I felt the same way Jean Claude feels. Like there's something to this one, and it's worthy of me rereading it to you. Um, but this was, and this might be a premium membership thing. I'm not really sure, which maybe is why I didn't get it in my personal email. But uh, when is now, posted August 20th by Jim Sinclair. My dear friends, we will keep this short and to the point. As time goes by, you will come to know all the ingredients to the fact that the economic law lives and is in the process of reasserting itself like a hot solar storm on the surface of the sun. MOPE, M-O-P-E. You'll see what that is. MOPE has failed, and the world is about to implode economically and socially because of it. Your question to all of us has been, when will all this happen? The answer is now. The means to this occurrence is accelerating uncontrollable volatility in the world fiat currency markets. The rise in the dollar here and now is due to Richard Russell's thesis on the synthetic dollar short. This can be easily understood by remembering that the currency you borrow will fluctuate. If that movement is up, then you are at a loss considering where it was trading when you borrowed it. The titanic forces of economic sin, in the theory of management of perspective economics. That's MOPE, okay? Management of perspective economics, MOPE. The titanic forces the titanic forces of economic sin in the theory of management of perspective economics, or MOPE, which was identified by us only and no one else more than a decade ago, is the most ignorant concept. If markets could be controlled globally, the laws of economics could be canceled and depressions, plus serious recessions, eliminated forever. They cannot be. You will witness this very soon, he says. The equity markets around the world have been celebrating the cancellation of economic law. The Australian School of Economics and all the teachings of Ricardo and Smith have been declared dead. The ascent of the devil of artificial intelligence, operated by the most advanced computers, has resulted in market manipulation so huge that there is no historical precedent for the volatility that the end of MOPE will produce. The only way to win in the game theory, computer manipulation of markets, markets, is don't play. The economic insanity of the big players is now clearly behind the reduction of one of the major international financial houses of their trading department from 500 people down to one person only. They simultaneously hired 9,000 computer engineers to build the strongest computer system in order to own all the world of trading and manipulating markets. They are convinced they are right by their own creation, with a huge climb in equity prices regardless of the lack of true internal economic strength. They therefore, in making the switch between traders and computer engineers, confirm their view of MOPE and the death of monetary science. They see their choice of manipulated stocks reaching into the thousands that contribute nothing fundamental to the world systems, such as social networks and movie purveyors. At the same time, a major flagship, i.e. GE, of the internal U.S. economy falls from the mid $40 range to a 12 bucks. General Electric is one of the real engines of U.S. economics that now falls price-wise, therefore capital value-wise. Finally, according to the laws of economics, the U.S. Fed, having extended its balance sheet insanely, has lost control of its internal and therefore external monetary policy. The run-up now in the dollar is because of the technical dollar short is the death knell of the fiat system. It is the product of a spreading panic in the non-reserve emerging market currencies. It is the currency of Turkey and Venezuela, Brazil and Argentina that have fallen hard and fast with Asia. To follow that is the pending weapon of mass economic destruction. The only way to stop it is for the U.S. Federal Reserve to go ballistic in global QE, quantitative easing, or massive money printing globally, followed by all the developed world central banks in unison, so they'd have to do it too, to provide the dollars demanded by the debt instruments of this unwind. You will witness the move to hyperinflation in the useless attempt to continue and ignore the game of mope and hold economies and fiat systems together. There is no other answer than gold to save yourself, he says. Now, granted, you know me now. I think there might be another solution besides gold, and it fits in way easier than gold. Cryptocurrencies. But this is a guy that just does not believe in cryptos at all. Like, he really doesn't. He's just a strong gold and silver guy. Which is okay, because I like silver for a lot of the reasons he just said too. But let's just continue. The price of gold will be a product of the size of U.S. debt now outstanding. Gold always balances the balance sheet of the USA as it did in 1980 at $887.50. If we really had the gold at Fort Knox, then the price of gold would rise to slightly under $17,000. Since we do not, $50,000 or more is probable. Now, of course, then you might bring up the question, what about the Grand Canyon Gold, Big Swear? That's a whole different discussion. This timing is a cause of the advent of a major trade war between China and the USA confirmed last week. A tariff war at this time is most unwelcome. Today, President Trump made it clear that he is a president of lower, not higher interest rates. Connect all these dots, and the return to the long-term bull market in gold is at hand. I have spent 14 years in the attempt to build one of the largest piles of gold possible, free of any margin at all. You must know you have to be your own central bank, as they are going to fall not one by one, but rather all at once. Now you see that the major world's gold buying nations that are China and Russia are operating on a policy not investment motivated. Thank God you know this now and do the necessary. Gold will be the last man standing. After June of 2019, so basically a year from now, there will be an entire new system monetarily only known to the early advocates of the theory of free gold. Today, the first system has broken. I think he spelled that wrong. Fiat system has broken, and all the king's men cannot put it back together again. Gold will have a market of 50K bid to 50K offered, as this new system, by the true law of economics, reveals itself. There is no force on earth that can stop the consequences of greed and mass hysteria of the years 1968 to present. This is also the end of the rule of this planet by what you call the deep state. This is the war of light versus darkness that had to come. Bill and I have been invited to be interviewed together on this unique connection of the dots by Greg Hunter this coming Friday, which is tomorrow, the next day, for a weekend presentation. You need to hear this week's discussion between Bill, David, and myself to connect the dots to your full understanding of the unusual grouping of events taking place. This answers the when you ask so often about the timing of the resumption of the long-term bull gold market. So, again, this is not the typical email blast we get. There's something about this that stuck out to me too. Jean-Claude forwarded it. I'm like, yep, I can see why he sent it and why he's feeling the way he is, because I feel the exact same way upon reading this. And I've received a ton of Jim Sinclair newsletters over the years. And I believe he's got a very, very good and serious point here, which is why I decided to read this to you today. So let me see what. Click on this. If you go to his site, it's JSMINE set. Like, let me just show it. Let me just pull it up. Open. And here it is. Because he's on top of things in the gold market. Okay. This is a site, JS Mindset, and of course it takes you to the gold subscription required for this. Gold subscription, $129 a year. Because I'm giving you this right here in this video, because it's important, I will be throwing this man a bone right now by putting thousands of views on his site here because he deserves it. Access to his premium content section, disable advertisement while supporting us. Click here for more information. $129 a year. Again, look at the price. Gold, $1,193. Silver, $14.69. What the? I mean, really? That's because the dollar is all of a sudden so strong. Because all the other problems in the world, yeah, sure. But as he's been calling it, this is stuff to be looking for. And now it's happening. He's basically reminding us all. We keep asking when, Jim? When Lambo for cryptos? When economic problems, Jim? Is the other side of that question. Or for those other people. And he just answered it. The when is now. It's happening right now. Doesn't mean all of a sudden all hell's going to break loose all of a sudden. But what if this coming September, October time frame, you know how markets love those dates, those months for crashing. What if some major events happen economically, financially, and again, it's extremely positive for cryptos. I keep telling it, cryptos do this, housing and whatever does this. Might be some fire sales to be had. But we're just going to have to wait and see. But again, this is something that I felt like this needs to be said. This is not something that needs to be quiet, but he's going to be on Greg Hunter, okay, Friday. You're probably going to watch that show on the weekend when Greg releases it either Saturday or Sunday. It's probably going to be one you want to listen to, okay? Take care.